I'm calling about an immigration status. Somebody that I knew very close to me, they went to the immigration to the Park Plaza to do an interview, and they were asking them a lot of questions, and they said everything was okay, and the consulate that did the interview, she took the fingerprints and took the
Who was sponsoring this person?
huh?
Who was sponsoring this person? Was this a marriage case?
Yeah, they're married.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
they're
All right,
married.
so they went and everything was fine. So what was the end result? So what happened?
Well, she took she copied the things and she told them that everything was okay. They have everything right, but she said, oh, she's gonna do further investigation because she see we're in which the man that she said he was married already. That person has never been married, never in his life. He said that she where he showed that the person is married, and he said, no, I'm not married. I've never been married. And she took everything from him and said he's gonna hear from her. And it's about over a month now, and nobody called.
All right, well then, so basically she went to the interview. They said they'd hear from her. They'd hear from the officer at the embassy. It's been a month and hasn't heard a thing. Is that basically what happened?
Yes, said a person that married to her is married already, but he has never been married, never.
Okay, so basically then there may be another person with his same name perhaps who they're confusing him with. What's going to have to happen is you're going to need to get a lawyer involved in this. Okay. So what I would suggest, yeah, you're going to need to get a lawyer involved in this. Someone's going to need to contact me. We're going to need to contact who people we know at the embassy. See if we can speak with them and try to resolve this for you.
Okay.
All right. And
We have to contact you.
Yeah, I would suggest you're going to need to go through a lawyer because if they're saying the husband's a bigamist, they're saying he's married to two different women. They're never going to give him they're never going to give this lady a green card. Okay, so
No, he's never been married.
I understand that, but I understand that. But what they're saying is that he is. So if you're sitting around, they say you're married to two ladies, okay, and you sit back and wait to hear from us. You're never going to hear from them. They're going to say you're married to two ladies. Period. And that's it. So you're going to need to get a lawyer to get the ball moving again. That's why you haven't heard. So what I would suggest you do is you give us a call at 1-800-522-0804 because they unless somebody's going to convince them otherwise, that's what they're going to believe. All right. So you're sitting around for them. They're not going to miraculously change their mind. It's not going to happen. You need somebody to say something on your behalf.
Good afternoon. I have a question.
Yes.
I remove my conditional green card.
Right.
And I get a 10-year.
Right.
My wife filed for my two kids. One get a 10-year and one get a 2-year. Why is that?
Your wife filed for the two kids. One got a 10-year and one got a 2-year. It depends when it depends when they were issued their green cards. So were they issued the green cards on the same day?
Yes, they were issued in April, but one on the 15th and one on the 17th.
Okay. Now they got April 2011. They got their green cards. What is the date of your marriage? The month and year.
3 years.
You've been married. You were married 3 years. So when you got when the kids got their green cards in April 2011, when somebody got their when the kids got their green card in April 2011, you were married more than 2 years already, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason is immigration screwed up and made a mistake. So what needs to happen is you need to do an I-90 application. Say immigration, made an error on the green card. Show proof that the kid got the green card more than 2 years after the marriage, and it should have been a permanent card, not a 2-year conditional card.
Okay.
Okay. So it was obviously an obvious error on the immigration service. All right.
Okay.
And then if there's any problem, you come see me.
Okay, you do it. So.
Oh, then if I did it, then immigration made a mistake. Then 100% come back and see me, and there's no cost, and I'll just fix it for you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm calling on behalf of my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She came up on a visa about 5 years ago, and she didn't want her daughter at the time. The daughter was 14. She got married during the period of time that the law requires her to get married. She got married and filed in the papers. Somewhere along the line, they missed one of the appointments going to immigration. And from there, it's just a run around and fill out a green card there. It doesn't have a valid document right now in the country. And the last time they went to immigration was like in September of last year, and they told them they're giving them a year to come back in.
Well, you know, what I think they should do is, because it's hard for me to follow. A, we have a bad connection, and B, it's hard for me to say what to do until I see a whole history of the immigration case and exactly why there's been a runaround. What I would suggest that you do is let them schedule an appointment to see me. Let them bring in all of their documents that they have. Let me try to go through it and figure out why they are where they are and what we can do to fix it for them.
But I'm filing for my mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing the DS 234
Right.
now. And I'm at the question where you asked about will anyone going to accompany her to the United States now?
The answer is no.
Anybody going to come later on?
The answer is no to both.
Yeah, but I was considering, right, if I do want to add one of my brother.
You can't. You can't.
I can't at this point?
No. You would have to file separate petitions for them, so that's why the answer is no.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it'd just be your mother coming and nobody else, and then if you want to file for your brothers and sisters, either you'll file a separate petition for them, or your mother, when she comes up here, will file a separate petition for them.
Okay, so even if I started the paperwork from the beginning, just add their name to the paperwork, that would not work either?
It wouldn't work either, correct.
Okay.
Right, so you can't. What basically the bottom line is, if you file for a parent under the law, you can't include the parent's children, which are your brothers and sisters. All right, so whether you added them in the beginning, you wanted to add them now, they can't get added.
Because I know somebody was saying, like, I guess they did it before. If I add it, all I have to send is a separate affidavit for them, affidavit as support.
But you can't. But you can't. But you can't add them. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Oh, I can?
Cannot. All right, under the law, you cannot include the children of your parents on that particular filing. So the only person who's going to come up is your mother. That's why the answer is no. Is anyone following to join? Is anyone accompanying? And then either now you want to file an I-130 for each of your siblings separately, or you can wait for your mother to come up and she can file a separate I-130, but it's not going to be on that mother's application.
Okay, so how about at a later date, so then I could add their name at that point?
No, the answer is no. You can't. They can't be added. Period. And listen, it'd be my pleasure to do it or tell you how to do it. I'm just telling you. Unfortunately, I'm just the messenger. But what I'm telling you is, unfortunately, the law doesn't allow you to do it.
Okay.
All right.
If a person sent in an application and it was denied, and then about a month after, they send you another letter for you to come in to interview, and when you go for the interview, you have to ask for an immigration officer, and you have to take a lawyer with you.
Yeah, you got a Stokes. Yeah, what you got was a Stokes interview, where they're going to separate you into two different rooms, ask you 300 questions, maybe more. What side of the bed do you sleep on? What type of toothpaste do you use? What's the color of the couch? And your answers got to match. So even when sometimes many times people fail the interview when they live together. They look at a couch. One person says the couch is white and the other person says it's tan. All right, so you got to be on the same page as or maybe they'll say it's white and gray. I mean, everything has different shades.
For any interview, they denied because they sent for some papers and that they didn't get because the person did not get the letter.
But you told me that you have the second interview, and I'm telling you what you're going to get. You're getting a Stokes interview.
It wasn't the first. There wasn't the first. It was denied, so there wasn't the first. It wasn't denied.
All right. Well, then you should come in to me with what you have, and you should refile again immediately, because if not, you're going to get put in deportation. I misunderstood you. It sounded like to me that you went on a first interview and now you're getting a second interview. That's what it sounds like to me based on what you read to me. And the second interview is the Stokes interview. But if you're telling me you've been denied, then you should be not walking, not running, but taking a bullet train to my office, because what's going to follow if you do nothing in the next 30 to 60 days is deportation. And let me give you the telephone number. It's 1-800-522-0804. Okay.
Yes, I'm asking you this question.
Yes.
I have 2 kids. They got their conditional green card after I got mine. When they got theirs, I was on condition, and they got theirs. But I'm now fully I got my full 10 years. So we're still living together with my wife, but sometimes we have problems. So I'm wondering if when it comes for them to get in their 10 year, if it is going to be a problem if she doesn't sign the paper.
If she doesn't sign the paper, it shouldn't be a problem. And they can still file on their own and give an explanation, as long as you can prove that it was a real marriage, which you've done, and you got your permanent card. That should be sufficient. If you want to be 100% sure that it wouldn't be a problem, then she's not going to sign the papers, then you would probably need to divorce her. But I'm talking about, this is a situation where we're talking about kids and the parent already has the permanent green card. But what I would suggest that you do is you come in to see me, and we can talk about the different options available.
Okay, yeah. I did a citizenship interview. Basically, 2 weeks after, I got a letter that I need to go back there because I'm missing some documents.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what that second interview is going to be for.
What are the missing documents, and then I'll tell you what it's for.
They say I'm missing. I didn't sign up for selective service.
Well, did you?
Which they check in the system, and I was signed up for it.
Okay, so you got to bring.
I have no idea how that happened.
All right, so just bring proof that you signed up for selective service. What else?
That's it. That's what I say is missing.
Okay, so then just bring proof from the selective service that you did sign up for it, and the interview should take all of 30 seconds, and everything else should be okay.
Yeah, my question is this: if a person entered the country under, they were examined at the port of entry, like at the airport,
Right.
but they came in on a different
Right.
name,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to get married. Can they marry and sort themselves out in their correct name?
In the Second Circuit, you can, if you can get the waiver approved. The Second Circuit is New York and Connecticut, not New Jersey. Third Circuit in New Jersey says no. Depends on which courts are interpreting the law. In the
New York and Connecticut?
New York and Connecticut, you can, with this caveat. You need to.
What about?
Hear me out. With this caveat, New York, I think, is the only jurisdiction. New York and Connecticut. I don't think there's another jurisdiction that allows it, but in New York and Connecticut, it's allowed. There may be one other jurisdiction which I don't know off the top of my head, but I don't recall seeing another jurisdiction that you can do it. But with a caveat. Caveat meaning with this exception. Okay, you need to be able to show your entry as this fictitious person. You will be turned down. You will be denied. The reason you're going to be denied is because they're going to say you lied to us, but they will allow you to file the adjustment application. And then, when you get turned down, you're eligible to file a waiver based on hardship to your spouse. And that's how it would be done. But not every hardship waiver is approved. More hardship waivers are denied than approved. So you're taking a big chance by doing it unless you feel very confident in your hardship waiver. If this was New Jersey, they wouldn't even allow you to file the adjustment application. The reason is in the Second Circuit, they say if you were inspected, you're allowed to adjust even if you were inspected as somebody else. In New Jersey, they say if you were inspected as somebody else, you were not inspected, and therefore you can't adjust. Okay? But if you want to talk about it more, it would really require a consultation, and I would suggest you give me a call at 1-800-522-0804.